here we are again doing kind of a rinse and repeat for Shiba Inu. We're again broken above this 20-day moving average. We're trying to, build towards the upside of this ascending wedge that we're in. And hopefully, once again, we can get this bullish breakout to the upside rather than a bearish breakdown like we often see with these formations. And this is actually happening for a couple reasons. And I want to talk about why that is, but I also want to talk about this 180% rally that is projected by an analyst in the space that would actually take Shiba Inu to some highs we have not seen since December. So we're going to talk about all that and more in this video. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So SHIB, yeah, just like kind of a yo-yo up and down. And what I have to say is that this is probably the strongest we've seen Shiba Inu react around this 20-day moving average. Many times in the past, it's been just wicks and retracements back down, selling taking place. And you guys can see this many times throughout history, even dating back to, early 2025, 2024. But right now, SHIB keeps showing us these signs that it does, in fact, want to make a breakout and an extension. That's a very good sign. And really what's helping this a lot is one, pretty much the sellers have been exhausted. They've kind of washed themselves out of the charts, and that's fine. And what we're also seeing on a very consistent theme is whale accumulation. All right, we're seeing us take these steps to the upside in terms of holders. A lot of people are buying right now because prices are so low, and whales are actually buying almost 100 billion SHIB per day. And in fact, what we've seen since the 28th of June is actually about 900 billion SHIB be accumulated by whales. It's not really surprising. Prices are cheap in the market, and people are prepping for much bigger moves as we get a lot of this exciting news to give us some push to the upside. Now, what I will say is that Javon Marks, who you guys have probably heard of before, I've talked about him on the channel here, he's actually talking about a potential 180% rally ahead as the MACD forms bullish divergence. This is what it looks like on the charts. You guys can see the bottoms are dropping in terms of price. We're seeing the bottoms rising in terms of MACD. So we are potentially building for this 180% rally, and he actually also talks about Shiba Inu possibly reclaiming one of the top 10 spots in the ranking of cryptocurrencies by market cap. Just to give you guys some context of where we're at right now, we are number 18th overall. We're $6.9 billion market cap. We're actually about a 10% move away from flipping at AVAX, which would be a very exciting sign. We're at about $130 million in daily trading volume, so still quite low. We're still not seeing a lot of wash trading. What we're seeing is, again, slow, steady accumulation. And that's a great sign. Love to see it. Love to see holders climbing, fundamentals looking strong. And again, the top 10 right now sits at about $20 billion. So we need to make about 180% move to get there. Obviously, the market's going to be moving at the same time. But he suggests this could, in fact, be on the low side of the moves to come. Now, this 180% move, guys, would, in fact, be basically up to those highs that we saw back in December. Now, what's interesting about this is, and I find it interesting, hopefully you guys do too, is although we're lower here in terms of price than we were back in 2024, there is thinner liquidity than there was here in 2024. There's far less SHIB available to go around in the markets. There's far less Shiba Inu in the order books. And what that means is that even if demand is the same that it was back in late 2024, price is going to move faster because there's less SHIB to go around. The money makes more impact in terms of price. And there hasn't been that much demand here in 2025. Things have been so suppressed because of obviously news about tariffs, because of economic uncertainty, because of tensions abroad. Now, what I will say is that a lot of those things are starting to flip positive. We're starting to get a little bit of wind in our sails. We're once again seeing discussions of crypto embrace here in the US. It sounds like trade deals are coming into effect now, right? Now, I will say, again, yesterday was kind of that shakeout we expected in the market. I would expect Wednesday to be kind of the same thing as we hit those trade negotiation deadlines. August 1st, I would expect to be one as well because that's when tariffs are actually implemented. But right now, it feels like a lot of the negative stuff has already been priced in, and now we're starting to get little bursts on the positive news. So that's a great sign. Now, what I will say here is just a couple things that could really help Shiba Inu make some extensions to the upside. BTC, staying broken out, trying to make a push towards all-time high. That'd be a great sign. ETH, getting its head out of the sands, trying to make some extensions past 3K. I think that'd be a very good thing for ERC20s and a very good thing for Shiba Inu specifically. It tends to perform well when Ethereum is on the run. Now, what Javon Marks is still pointing towards is actually a 600% rally in the long term. This is a move that would take SHIB all the way up to 4081, close to the prior all-time high. But that might not even be where it stops. He's talking about 30155 still being in play. And understand this, my projections for this market cycle haven't really changed at all. I'm not changing anything yet. I'm not making any judgments based on these times where all this news has just been so loud. Here's what I will say. If we have the normal length market cycle, their price is probably going to be lower than what our projections were. And the reason is we're kind of running out of time in that regard. We talked about the top being sometime in October, maybe November. Guys, that's only 3 months away. That's not a lot of time. Several of these moves for SHIB have taken months and months and months, right? We can't do that. If these moves are going to take months and months and months, this cycle is going to be a huge disappointment for all coins. Now, that being said, things are more aligning towards an extended market cycle. Institutional money has done that. The suppression of retail has, in fact, done that. Adoption is going to be coming to the crypto market, and you're talking about a pretty big wave of adoption in this market cycle alone. And what we might need to start talking about more frequently is this cycle that actually runs into 2026. I think that the traditional bear market cycle, we can just about call gone because institutions are not going to take that type of bath. All right. We are seeing altcoin accumulation take place in terms of enterprises, in terms of institutions as well. And that's going to expand over time. And that's where Shiba Inu has a real chance as we get deeper into this cycle. We're obviously pretty deep already, but those are some things that we just need to be kind of aware of. Time, if we stick to a traditional cycle, is not our friend. That being said, in terms of mass adoption, we have all the time in the world. We're at 5-6% of the world in crypto. Meme coins are still insanely popular. And Shiba Inu right now at a fundamental level has the opportunity because of what has taken place during these times of suck to really make some exciting runs to the upside. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I appreciate you as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.